Isang mapagpalang araw muli mga students. So ngayon, i-share ko naman yung second part, no? Second part ng lesson natin na sabi ko ay four-part video lesson on data management. Okay? So, I will share the PowerPoint now. So this is a video lesson on data collection. Ano ba yung kahalagahan ng data collection? Kasi napag-usapan natin kanina yung basic concept on statistics, no? Collecting data, analyzing data. So, yun, natutunan natin. So, ngayon, paano natin i-collect yung data ang gagamitin natin para makagawa tayo ng informed decision. So, ito ngayon yung video lesson about that. So, data collection. So, in order to have accurate data, the researcher must know the right sources and right way of collecting them, no? Importante, 'di ba kanina sa population, no? Target population, actual population, and then sample, no? Dapat tama yung makuha nating sample from the population para meaningful yung maging generalization natin from the sample to the population. So dapat accurate yung data na makuha natin. Hindi yun magiging accurate kung mali yung manner ng data collection. Okay? So ano-ano ba yung characteristics of a good question? So halimbawa kasi kanina no gusto mong pag-aralan yung mga first year working students no ng CVSU, meron kang ipo-pose na question sa kanila. Ano-ano yung characteristics ng magandang tanong? Number one, unbiased, no? Hindi yung maganda ba? Maganda ba sa CBSU? Or malapit ba ang bahay mo sa CBSU? Kasi nabibigyan mo na siya ng nalilin mo na siya kung ano yung isasagot niya eh. Kahit gusto niyang sabihin, hindi ako masyadong nagagandahan, sinabi mong maganda. So, biased yun. Tapos, clear and simple. Hindi yung ambiguous, no? Dapat pag tinanong mo, malinaw na maiintindihan niya yung tanong mo para masagot niya ng tama. And then precise, no? Clear and precise. And then would lead to easy analysis, no? Mahirap kasi na it would be difficult, it would be challenging for a researcher if the collected data are uh, difficult to analyze, no? Yung struggle yung pag-analyze. So, ayan yung mga characteristics. Dapat i-observe natin yan in our data collection. Ano-ano ba yung dalawang categories ng survey questions, no? We have open question, which allows a free response. Ito maganda kung gusto mo talagang makuha yung qualitative aspect, no? Kung gusto mo yung in-depth na ah, kunwari pananaw or opinion ng tinatanong mo. So, wala kasing definite na answer. No? For example, what do you think should be done to reduce crime? Okay? So, kung ano yung iniisip niyang paraan para mabawasan yung krimen, yun yung isusulat niya. The problem is, halimbawa, you have 100 respondents, baka 100 din yung sagot nila na iba-iba. Okay? The second type is a closed question, which allows only a fixed response. So, for example, which of the following approaches would be effective in reducing crimes? Choose one only. No? So, A, imposition of curfew. B, police visibility. Letter C, imposition of tougher penalties. Or letter D, get parents to discipline children more. Ito, yung data na makokollect mo dito, yung mga sagot na makukuha mo, kunwari, frequency, halimbawa sa 100 na tinanong mo, ah, 45 yung nagsabing imposition of curfew, ah, 10 yung nagsabi ng police visibility and so on. Madali yung pag-a-analyze. No? Masabi mo agad na most of the respondents would uh, choose an imposition of curfew to reduce crimes. Okay? Pero yung kanilang mas malalim na pananaw, hindi mo makukuha, no? Unlike in open question. So, depende kung ano ang purpose mo. So you may use open question or closed question surveys. Ano-ano yung types of data? So, ito depende sa source, no? Kasi kanina yung data natin ay meron ding datang binanggit kanina doon. This one is types of data based on sources. So we have primary data, which are data or information collected from an original source of data. So halimbawa, yung nakukuha mo sa pag-i-interview, sa pag-survey, yon ang tawag doon ay primary data. And then we have secondary data. These are information collected from published or unpublished sources like books, newspapers, and this. Halimbawa, yung, di ba, may freedom of information law. Halimbawa, kukunin mo yung mga naging gastos, no? Yung mga naging budget sa DPWH, yun. So, secondary data yun kasi available na yun. Hindi mo siya nakuha from survey or interview. Okay? Now, ano-ano yung mga important points to consider when collecting data? Number one, if measurements of some characteristics from some people, like height, weight, are being obtained, better results will be achieved if the researcher does the measuring instead of asking the respondent for the value. Halimbawa, kukunin mo yung yung height, no? Minsan, yung mga maliliit gusto nilang mag-appear na matangkad, iba yung sasabihin na height. Kaya dapat ikaw yung kukuha o kaya naman halimbawa yung weight. So nahiya siyang siya, medyo mabigat siya. So sasabihin niya, ganito lang yung timbang ko pero mas mataas pala doon. So dapat pag mga ganyan, yung researcher talaga ang nagme-measure. Number two, the method of data collection used may expedite, no, napapabilis or nade-delay yung process. So avoid a medium that would produce low response rates, no? Sa experience, mas mataas yung response rates pag ikaw mismo yung nagtatanong, no? Pero pag iiwan mo lang, pakisagot mo na lang yung survey questionnaire ko, babalikan ko, no? Mababa yung response rates. So, isipin mo din kung ano yung purpose mo para magamit mo yung tamang medium of data collection. Number three, ensure that sample size rather is large enough for the required purpose. So, halimbawa, sinabi ko kanina, you would want to study about first year working students. Tapos, ang tatanungin mo lang, isa-survey mo lang ay ah, 5 kasi yung mga kaibigan mo yun, mga kakilala mo, di ba? Hindi sila representative ng population ng working students. So, dapat yung sample size is large enough for the required purpose. And then fourth, ensure that the method used to collect data actually results in a sample that is representative of the population, yung sinabi ko kanina. Kaya sa susunod na video, merong sampling techniques, pag-uusapan naman yun. Ang objective kasi natin ay makakuha ng generalization or characteristic about the population from the sample, no? So, kailangan yung method ng data collection natin talaga ay representative yung sample ng population para yung results natin ay robust. Now, what are the methods of data collection? So, number one is direct method or the interview method. This uses at least two persons, no? Yung interviewer, yung nagtatanong, at interviewee, yun yung tinatanong. So, the two persons exchanging information. This gives precise and consistent information because clarifications can be made. Although this is time-consuming, expensive, and has limited field coverage. Siyempre, kung ikaw yung interviewer, baka ang mai-interview mo lang sa isang araw, 5. But if you use survey, mas marami kaysa sa 5 yung makukuhanan mo ng data. No? So again, your method should serve your purpose. So that's direct or interview method. Number two is indirect or questionnaire method. Now, written answers are given to prepared questions. So kung ito ay closed questions, no? So this requires less time and is expensive since questionnaires can be mailed or hand carry, although mababa ang response rate nito. It also gives the respondent a sense of freedom in honestly answering questions because of anonymity kasi minsan nahihiya ka, no? Pag tinatanong ka, kunwari, magkano ba yung baon mo? Hindi mo masabi, kunwari, wala ka namang baon o kaya 20 pesos lang yung baon mo. Hindi mo masabi kasi sometimes nahihiya ka, no? O kaya magkano yung sweldo mo bilang ikaw ay working student? Magkano ba yung sinasahod mo dyan sa pinapasukan mo? Sometimes, we tend to be embarrassed, no? Kaya hindi mo masabi tama lang, ang suot mo, tama lang, sapat lang, ganyan. Pero kung anonymous, kasi questionnaire, tapos hindi mo naman isusulat yung pangalan mo, mas honest ka sa pagsagot. Number 3, registration method. Ito enforced by law. Anong halimbawa? Yung census. Kasi lahat kasama. No? Number 4 is observation method. Formally witnessing the behavior of individuals or organizations in the study. Also used when the respondents cannot read or write. Bakit ganyan ang spelling ng write? W-R-I-T-E yan, ha? W-R-I-T-E. Naantok na naman si Ma'am Domingo. Anyway, so halimbawa, gusto kong pag-aralan kung effective ba yung teaching method ko sa mga working students. So, ino-observe ko, tinitingnan ko. Okay, nadadalian sila sa pagsagot. Okay na po, parang medyo nahihirapan silang intindihin yung lesson. So, that's observation. Then, experiment used when the objective of the study is to determine cause and effect. So, meron kang intervention. Okay? So, yung observation kasi, hindi mo binabago yung sa field. For halimbawa ay, normal ito sa biology or sa pure sciences, no? You would want to determine the behavior of animals dun sa kanilang habitat. No? Yan. So, yung experiment naman, meron kang intervention na gagawin. So, halimbawa, papakainin mo yung animals nitong feeds na to, mas tumataba ba sila? Mas nagiging mabigat ba sila? So, yun. No? So, you would want to determine the cause and effect. Exercise will be posted in the G class. So, I'll stop sharing now. That ends part 2 of the 4-part video lessons on data management. Bye for now, class. Bye-bye.